Well, that was a lot of notes. Hi, my name is Yvette, and I play in the band Covet. For this episode of Riff Rundown, I'm going to be teaching you the guitar solo-y bit from our song Nero. I jokingly call a lot of my riffs basically long run-on sentences, because what I'm doing is I'm like tacking on little parts and building it into one big flowy sentence. So yeah, when I'm learning a riff like what I just played, I like to chunk it into little bits because oftentimes it's a bit daunting to have to learn the whole thing. So this riff that I'm about to teach you is basically 4 main sections. There's 2 variants. And I'm going to be referring each section to a letter, like A, B, C, and D. So before we actually begin, I wanted to let you guys know the tuning I'm in, because this wouldn't sound the same in standard, would it? So the tuning is D, A, C sharp, F sharp, E. It sounds like this. So once you're all tuned up, we're ready for section A. Section A happens twice in this riff. The second time is actually a variant of A, but let's just focus on getting A down. I'm going to play it very slowly and point out some notable things after I play it very slowly. Oh yeah, a quick tip is for speed. For the sake of making everything more economic for myself, I'm picking on the fretboard because I'm actually going to have to tap. And the reason I do that is because if you have to pick down here and then suddenly tap, you're losing so much time just moving back and forth. And this riff, when it's full speed, it goes. So, you know, I don't really have the time to jump back and forth. So I'm going to go ahead and play section A really slowly. And then there's 2 little tricky sections of this, but I'll go ahead and explain them in detail after I play it slowly to kind of point out what I'm doing there. It starts with the hammer-on situation. Hammer-on situation kind of sounds like the name of a ska band. Sorry, I just had to mention that. So you're going to start with the open low E being pulled off. There's the hammer-on, and it's on the G string, the 10th fret. So there's 2 things there that are kind of weird. That's pretty normal. And then that might feel a little uncomfortable for some people because usually when you tap on 2 frets, it's kind of, you know, people want to just do a parallel tap, but you're going to have to pivot your hand a little bit this way to really hit that 15th and 16th fret. That's another weird part. So you're actually sliding 1 fret over and you're sliding 2 frets over there. And you're doing that together. So yeah, those are the tricky parts of section A. So section B is going to happen all the way down here. It's a series of hammer-ons and pull-offs. So I'll play it really slowly. Pretty straightforward there. So section C actually has one of my favorite chords in the entire song. But I'm gonna play it for you real slow so you can see what I'm doing. Really quick note, instead of playing the broken chord just straight, you're gonna actually hammer on that second note. What that does is it just gives a little extra pizzazz. Okay, I'm gonna play it now. Make sure to really pluck that low string on the last 2 chords. So it sounds like. Excuse a little dead note. Yeah, that's pretty straightforward as well. So for that last C section, I like to add a bit of chorus on it, and I take that chorus away halfway through the part as well. And I'll show you what that sounds like. So we're gonna come back to section A, but there's a slight variant this time, and I'll point it out. I'm gonna play it, and I'll show you where the variant occurs. So that's a bit weird. You're gonna do a tap slide, but you're sliding different distances on the string. So normally, you want to do a parallel slide, but you're gonna slide 2 frets with your middle finger and 1 fret with your pointer finger. So, and then the rest is pretty much the same. Sorry, that's not helpful. The rest is the same. So this next section is B again, but there's a variation that happens at the end, and I'll point it out when I play it. This is a section where you're gonna wish you're picking on the fretboard, because you're actually gonna have to tap at the end, and it's just a long distance to travel. So here it is, B variation. So actually, I like to mute the strings from ringing out with my left hand. Makes it a lot cleaner. So here we are at section D, the last section. Congrats, you made it to the end. The only notable thing about this section is that we're going to be giving the trem some love. So I'll point out when that happens. But first, it sounds like this. So I actually like to slide to the next part of the section while still holding down the bar. So and then I release it as soon as I hit these chords. Those are the notes. So now that we've played all these sections separately really slowly, let's try to string it all together. Just a little practice tip: when I have to play really intricate, long things like this, I like to practice all the sections, like A, B, C, and D individually, and then I practice stringing A and B together, B and C together, and so on, so on. You get the idea. That way you're kind of like practicing, targeting your practice on trouble areas, and then when you finally have to play it all together, you're fluent already. And I usually don't let myself move on to a new part until I can successfully string together the part prior, if that makes sense. Kind of like a video game. Like, you can't go to level 2 until you complete level 1. So let's play it at normal speed. And real quick, I'm not using a compressor or anything right now, but live I probably would to even out some of the notes. But I like to practice without, because I feel like it just makes me more accurate, and I feel like sometimes with compression you can just coast. I don't want to coast right now. I want to practice accuracy. So